Shalom everybody, this is Jerusalem Jane giving an update on two different things. First of all, today is a joyful day here in the Jewish state. Today is the day where all the children are going back to school. For some of them it's the first time, so there's a lot of proud parents, proud grandparents taking their little one to school for the very first time. And all the different politicians here in Israel were out going to all the schools and greeting the children, and Benjamin Netanyahu was also out. I shared some photos from that. Of course, the children here in Israel should feel safe. They should be able to go to school without being afraid of terrorist attacks or without being afraid of rockets flying in, coming to hit them. Unfortunately, that was not the case in Tekoa. Tekoa is a Jewish town in the Gush Etzion area just outside Jerusalem. While they are having the big welcoming ceremony, the alarm goes off, and it turns out that an Arab terrorist, first he attacked a Jewish woman with rocks. He then escapes and he picks up a big iron bar and he attacks a man, a Jewish man. And he managed, with the help of two others, to take down this terrorist before he really injures someone. So of course that is setting off the alarm, and the security forces are rushing in because they don't know, is there another terrorist at loose? So right in the midst of these Jewish children being welcomed at the first day of school, they have this siren going off and they know that there's a terrorist at loose. Everyday life here in Israel. Last week, the Iranian foreign minister paid a visit to Syria. He brought an extra plane. He brought a big cargo plane. In the stomach, in the belly of that plane was weapons, ballistic missiles made in North Korea, and also engines to put on ballistic missiles to give them a larger reach was in that plane. That, of course, was brought to the Syrian forces in Syria, and that was brought out hiding in 6 different places in Syria. They thought Israel didn't pay attention. Of course, Israel did. When Iran is saying we want to wipe out the Jewish state and they are putting troops in Syria, they are putting weapons and ballistic missiles, you better believe Israel is paying attention. So the Israeli Air Force went in and they attacked 6 different places in Syria last night, and Israel also used missiles that has a reach of 150 kilometers and with 120 kilos. So Israel went in and they took out the big Air Force base, the major Air Force base Al-Meza in Damascus. But they also struck the 4th, the 6th, and the 10th division in Syria. The 4th division is run by a general who is the brother of Bashar al-Assad, the brother or the leader in Syria. And he was critically injured. There were numerous casualties. High-ranking Iranian officials, military personnel were injured, and some of them were killed in this airstrike last night. Actually, so much that the Russian had to bring in their troops that's already there, and they were evacuating some of the Iranian casualties, some of the Iranian wounded. So Israel did what Israel have to do. Israel is not going to sit like this and just wait for the Iranian forces to build up in Syria and then one day put an attack on Israel. So Israel did what Israel had to do last night to defend herself. So I wanted to share these two things with you because you have probably heard in the news, and it's kind of embarrassing for the Syrians, because first they went out on social media and they said America had attacked. Then they found out that was not the case. Then they went out and said, ooh, you know, there was a mistake, there was a blown up, there was some technical things. Of course, they didn't want to credit this to Israel. They didn't want to credit that the Iranian foreign minister brought in a big plane last week bringing all of these missiles to the Iranians. So of course, you know, that's pathetic, but we know that Israel did what Israel had to do. Israel has no choice but protect herself when she is surrounded by enemies. Would you keep the children of Israel in your prayers that started a new school year today? Would you pray that they would have a good school year, that they would be safe? I mean, a lot of the children, a lot of the kindergartens and also the schools in Israel are having bomb shelters exactly for when rockets start to fly, and especially from Gaza. So thank you for standing with me. Thank you for standing with Israel for such a time as this. We are the United Nations for Israel. God bless you all and have a wonderful day. Jerusalem Jane sending kiss here from the Jewish capital. Bye.